Hello, everyone, and welcome to Google Educator Group Nagoya online live. And today we're going to talk to you about Google Classroom. Sorry, not Google Classroom, YouTube. And what we're going to do today is not actually talk about how you can set up your YouTube channel, but we're going to talk to you about how you can use YouTube, which is owned by Google, in the classroom. So first, we're going to start with a little pedagogy here. I'm going to share my screen with you. So you just give me a moment here. And we're going to go through a little bit of back and forth, tell you a little bit about Google Educator Group Nagoya, what we do. And we'll just wait for this slide deck to load for a moment. So this is our logo, GEG Nagoya, Google Educator Group Nagoya. Google Educator Groups are volunteer groups that are literally in cities around the world. Some cities have multiple Google Educator Groups. And teachers come together and they share ideas for teaching and learning. We are supported by Google, but definitely not paid by Google. So we hope you go to gegnagoya.com. Even if you don't live in Nagoya and can't come and see us face to face, we definitely would like to see you live online as we're continuing to do these online live events so that we can teach people all over the globe. So tonight, here it is, YouTube for Class. So we're going to show you how to organize playlists, how to embed YouTube videos in Google Sites, Google Forms and slides. We're going to edit and narrate videos with Edpuzzle. We're going to show you how you can use YouTube Live with the tool we're using now called StreamYard and YouTube Audio Library. We want to point out that we are going to be doing another one like a week from today. On Jamboard. That'll be a really short one because it's a relatively new tool, and it is a special, kind of screen. It's actually its own device, but you can do it with your desktop or an iPad or a tablet or whatever. So we'll show you a little bit about that. That's going to be a short one. We're also going to be doing something on December 11th on Google Sites and Blogger. We do want to bring your attention to Google Educator Group's Asia Pacific Connect. So we have just hosted our very first online live, and what we intend to do is have several more online live events, and we hope you can join us. We will put in the banner the Google site where you can access Asia Pacific Connect, and we do events in several different languages, so stay tuned. That group is relatively young, but we are moving and shaking and want to connect people across languages, cultures in the Asia Pacific region. So today, we're talking about YouTube in the classroom. So why use YouTube? Well, it's definitely a place for teachers to learn, not just students. Videos are interesting and engaging. Humans just really like to look at videos for some reason. And of course, screen time is concerned, but if it's well thought out, it's a very effective tool for the classroom. As we know, YouTube and other sources like Khan Academy and whatnot have a wealth of resources, and often you have experts sharing their expertise with you on YouTube. Of course, you might be an expert in your field and can eventually create videos for your students and help extend their learning through video, if you're not already doing so. It's a visual and an audio means of learning. And of course, if you are connected online, you can watch YouTube videos pretty much anytime, any place, as well as some of the things we're going to show you today. And videos are easily shared. And of course, students can create their own videos and share with other students and teach each other. Things like public service announcements, video tutorials, etc., etc. So, getting set up. Well, we're not really going to get into that today. We might show you a couple of things at the end, but if you are using a YouTube account and you want to have your own channel, you do have to go through a few things or a few steps before you set up your account. So make sure you set up your account well before you're teaching your lessons or set up your school year. Don't do it the night before. We are going to show you how to create playlists for classes in a little bit. This is a list of things that we're going to go through. I'm not going to read them here because we're going to go through them in just a moment. And without further ado, we're going to get out of that. And I'm going to show you a couple of things. Now, first off, how do you access YouTube? Well, if you're not sure, right here is called your apps launcher. And you would click on this and boom, YouTube is going to open. I won't do that right now because I have a couple of YouTube videos open already that we are going to learn, that we're going to use. So the first thing that I want to kind of bring your attention to is the gear wheel here in the YouTube video screen that you see. So down here, you see this gear wheel. Well, that's your settings. Now in Google products, where you see down arrows, three little dots, and gear wheels, all of those are your friend. So don't be afraid to touch them, click on them, find out what they have. So here is your settings. Now, if you look in here, you might have a weak internet connection. Maybe your Wi-Fi is not so weak. I've got mine set to HD, high definition, but maybe you're going to have to watch your video in a lower definition. For example, 480p. And if you do that, the video quality might lose a little bit depending on what kind of your device you're watching on. It could be a little bit grainy, but depending on the speed of your connection, it might be a better option to view in a lower quality. I am going to go back up to high definition though. Again, in settings, you have these funky little things called subtitles. So mine are off at the moment, but I'm going to enable it in English. And you can actually enable subtitles in a number of different languages. Now, this is not a new tool in YouTube, but it is one that gets better and better over time. So let's quickly play this. So you can see that you can get a pretty good subtitle series in there, but it might not stop with periods and things like that. And again, this is called Mentimeter, but it called it Metameter. So it's not completely perfect, but it is good for students that maybe second language learners need a little text support, or maybe someone who is visually impaired. So I'm going to take that off for now, actually. And of course, playback speed. Now, if you look at some YouTube videos, even some of the ones I make, they tend to be a little bit fast. So you might want to encourage your students to go to maybe 75% of the normal speed. So as you can see, that slows it down quite a bit. So I'm going to change my playback speed to normal. You probably noticed too, though, you can go with custom up here too. So you might bring it down just to 80% or something like that. You can also access the closed captions here. Now, you might have seen these three little icons in the past, right? They're just different ways to view your videos, right? Click on that and you get the full screen. If you're projecting in class, that's kind of nice to see. And you would just go down here to exit the full screen. Of course, you can scroll for the details in the video, so you don't lose all that stuff as well. And if you want a nice theater view where you have the wider screen, you can click on that. And then you've got your, what looks more like a landscape feature. I'm going to go back here though. Sorry, I'm going to go out of that. And I'm going to get out of the theater mode. And we're back to where we began. So those are a few things you want to think about and teach your students as they use YouTube videos, whether it's in the classroom or whether it's at home. Now, let's say you have a series of videos that you want to use. Well, maybe you want to create playlists. Now, in my my school account, I have a series of playlists. Now, I'm here in my personal account right now, and I don't have a lot of playlists, but I'm going to show you what you can do. Now, let's say you like this video, and it fits into a series. Maybe it's your history class or a chemistry class, and you're focused on perhaps the periodic table, and you want videos only on the periodic table. This video here is more about student voice, leveraging student voice. So you go down here to this icon where it's got the plus button. I'm going to click on that. And let's see, I don't have student voice in here, so I'm going to create a new playlist. I'm just going to tap on that, and I'm going to call it student, type it properly here, student voice. It's a public playlist. If I leave it public, that means I can share that playlist with other people, which is great for colleagues and students. And if you're sharing playlists with students, you will want to do that. So I click create. And now it says here, added to student voice. So if I click plus, I already see that it's added to my student voice playlist right here. Now what you're seeing here are a whole bunch of other playlists that I have actually created. But I'm going to step out of that right now. And essentially, when you have a playlist, you just have to copy the URL at the top, share with somebody, and what they'll get is the start video, and then they'll have a little box in here with a whole bunch of other videos. Very cool, very useful for your classes. So now what I want to do is show you a number of tools that you can use in the classroom with YouTube videos. Now, the first one that we're going to show you is how to embed a YouTube video in a Google form. So let's say you want to flip your classroom, meaning you don't want to waste time having students look at videos in a class. Let's say it's 10 or 15 minutes. Well, that's some pretty prime time there. So you don't want to waste that watching a video throughout the class. But what you might want to do is have students watch the video at home, use a Google form, they can answer questions, and if you require that they give a response or their email address or their name, then what you can do is see who has actually done the task. So I'm just going to put here, what is your name? And you notice it automatically turned it into a short answer. Lovely. You can go up to your gear wheel or in your settings, and you can click collect email address, and you can give a response receipt, and you can choose whether they get it or not. They automatically get it, or they can choose to look at it. I'm going to click save on that, and you notice here now it collects the email address, and I'm going to see who has watched this video. But I haven't put a video in there yet. So woe is me. What do I do? Well, I'm going to go back to my video, and I can either copy it from here in the Omnibox. So I'm going to click copy, or I can go down here to where it says share, and I click on share, and I just click copy right here. We'll look at that whole embed thing in a little bit. So I'm going to go back to my Google form, and right here you can see it's got add video. So I'm going to tap on that. And if I want, I can search for the video. Now, my video on Mentimeter hasn't really been viewed a lot, so it's probably not going to come up. You're going to get other ones that have been viewed a lot more. So I want them to look at the one I made. So I'm going to tap URL, and I'm going to paste in that URL, and ba-boom, there we go. I'm going to select it, and in we go. And so I might actually say, please use this video for the assignment. We will discuss it tomorrow in class. So that way the students have to watch the video first. They have to answer some questions. You could maybe add some open-ended questions and that kind of thing. Let me trash that right there. And then you give them something to look at, especially if you require that they receive their responses, they can check their responses in class from a device or their phone or whatever it is. Or even yourself, you can just click on the response tab. Of course, we haven't used this, so I have no responses. But you can turn it into a spreadsheet and read the responses, or you can look here. You could say, hey, somebody said blah, blah, blah. So what do you think about that response? So that's a way that you could use a YouTube video with a Google form, and you're collecting their responses, and you know that they've done the work at home. This is really good for quiet students, shy students, or students that need a little bit more time to process things. So we're going to close that up. And we're going to show you a couple of tools that you can use. Now, one that I do want to show you is this thing called TeacherTube. All you have to do is click on teachertube.com, and then you choose your subject area. And then, of course, you're going to see some videos within that subject area, and you can see which ones may be useful for your class. And, of course, click, and then you can see more videos. You can search for the videos in here. So I recommend you look at TeacherTube. This is, kind of developing. It's been developing over time. But just in case you didn't know, TeacherTube is there. You can check out videos, you can check out audio, and you can check out collections. And again, you can check out categories. High school, language arts. Do you want to look at religion videos? Do you want to look at foreign languages? Choose what you want, and there you go. So we're going to close that one up. Now, another one that I also like is this YouTube Learning, okay? And this is, of course, one of YouTube's educational channels. And if you go here, you can look and see just all these videos and kind of scroll through, see what they have. These ones here are their featured videos. Now, I would say go up here and click on playlists. And so within the YouTube Learning, you've got a series of different playlists. Virtual history, right? Experience learning videos in virtual reality, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Of course, you can look at a whole bunch of ones, all right? American Sign Language, civil rights and civil liberties. There's 16 videos in here. So you can just share, and that's from Khan Academy too, which is quite cool. So you can share these videos. Let me just tap on that. So here we have a nice big playlist, and all you have to do is go up here, copy the URL, and then you can share it with your students. And of course, this is created by Khan Academy, so you know that these videos are going to be high quality. Going to go back. Let's see, a few other really good ones in there. PBS, very, very good site. Origin of Everything, I've actually used that. That's a good site. Anyway, I encourage you to look through the YouTube Learning, and we will actually copy that. And I think I'm going to put that in the comments. And I see Steve there. Hey, Steve, good to see you. How you doing? You can see some other things that I've linked up here, Edpuzzle and TED Ed, which we're going to go to right now. So Edpuzzle, I really like a lot. Okay, so I'm going to give you like a live version of this. But Edpuzzle, if you haven't noticed, I'm going to go up to my YouTube video here. Where's my video on Mentimeter? I'm going to go back here and back and back. Actually, maybe it's in my history. I'll click on that. So you'll notice here that I have a button. I have a button that says Edit with Edpuzzle. So let's say you find a YouTube video that you really, really like. Well, you have to have an account with this company called Edpuzzle. It is free, and they do have online training and support. How you get that is to do it with a Chrome extension. But we're not going to show you how to do that today. It's quite simple. You should be able to do it straight from Edpuzzle as well. So what is Edpuzzle? Well, basically what it does is allow you to create videos from YouTube that actually stop automatically in certain places where if you're not doing a live version and the students are doing it on their own, it automatically stops, and you can set it so that they cannot move ahead in the video until they answer a question. You can make open-ended questions, and you can make multiple choice questions. Not a super developed tool, but is quite good, especially for the flipped classroom. You can create classes, you can invite students in. It is connected to Google Classroom, and you do have a gradebook. So if you want your students to do it, you could actually use it as an assessment tool. So let me show you what it looks like with a live version, because this is my demo version, by the way. Just to let you know, you can check assignments that are due, and you can check the students in your class. Edpuzzle could be another online tutorial, but for now, we just want to show you what is there. So here's my video. I've gone in and set it up. I can have a look at the questions that I've created. Now, when I want to go live with it, now, again, you can share a link with students with this tool. You can see here you've got share assignment, or you can go live and do it in the class if you want. So I'm going to click go live. I'm going to share my screen using a projector. It gives me all the reminders that I need. I click go live, waiting for people to go live. Well, yeah, that's okay. Connecting any minute now. Should pop up in just a moment. Click start. That'll help. And so I have the video. And so what I want to do is play the video, and you're going to hear the audio come through here. I'm going to skip ahead a bit just for your sake. You see the little blue line going here, right? There's my toggle. It allows me to go ahead, close those. You're going to see it stop in just a moment. These little dots mean there's something that stops. And boom, did you see that it stopped? And now there is an open-ended question. And then I could talk to the students. How would Cortez's life, elite upbringing have been a factor in him becoming an explorer? How does wealth relate to opportunity? Get students thinking a little more deeply and kind of front-loading some of the things that you want them to be thinking about. So I'll not skip it. I'll click continue. And I've got another question in there. All right. So I could look at show responses. We can see how people have responded if they were doing this in real time. Scroll down, I'm going to click continue. And we've got another one coming up in just a moment. And you're going to see it stop again in just a moment. And now that's stopped. Now you notice this is a little bit different. This is what we call a note here. So what I've done is actually created an audio note. So I want them to think a little bit with audio. And then I'm going to click continue. And the video keeps going. Now I'm going to exit live. This is the version that you would use if you were to do it within your class. But you can also click share assignment. I think I did that a little bit too quickly. Down here, share assignment. You can download your grades, delete the assignment. If I click on share, I've got a link that I can copy and share with them. Or I have an embed code, so I can embed it on a Google site, or you could embed it in any other kind of app. For the most part, Sutori. If you have a timeline that you want them to work with, you can copy the embed code, and it's nice. It's one little click, and then it's copied. So I'm going to tap out of that, and I'm actually going to log out. I highly recommend you always log out of your apps. And you notice there you can make 20 different videos for the free version, which is pretty sweet. Now I'm going to show you TED Ed, and you'll notice in the comment box that I've got these links early on. So scroll up, and then you can see those links. Now TED does have an education program, and what you can do is create your own lessons using videos. So what you would do is go create, and then you're going to choose a lesson, and you create your own video-based lesson. So you have you can see a series of lessons I've already created. So I'm going to show you what they look like. I'm not going to make one for you because the purpose of today is just to show you what's out there. So let's say the Silk Road, or I'd say slave trade. That's a pretty serious one. You notice it has 5 million views, this video. So what I did was copy the video URL when I created this. And you notice here, lesson created by moi, and using the lesson creator. And it's a video from the TED Ed YouTube channel. So I wrote this little introduction here, and I had the students watch the video. After that, then they went to think. And they would have to choose their answers and go through a series of questions. And of course, I've already answered these myself. That's why you're going to see these green things here. Your students will not see the answers, but you will get the data, and yes, you can download it. They can click Save My Answer with a long, extended, open-ended answer. And much like Edpuzzle, you can do open-ended or multiple choice quizzes. And I'm just skipping through really quickly for you. And of course, they can track their progress right there. Then they can click on Dig Deeper. And then there's a little bit more thinking, a prompt for the students to, or provocation for students to think about. So I click on the next section, and I've got a discussion here. So I'm going to click Start a Discussion. And I can say, slave trade. And what do you think after watching the video? And then I click New Guided Discussion. And then everybody else watching the video can actually type into this and give their responses. And of course, at the end, I like to leave them, and finally, with something else. You can learn more here. So slavery, for example, it still exists in the world today. There's something like 30 million people living in slavery, child slavery alone, actually. So I put a link here where they can tap, and then they can have a look at something to extend their thinking. Great for students who think a little bit more quickly than others, or take a little bit more time, or are just very careful. Now, I'm going to log out of this one again. As I said, always log out, never just shut down. Log out, log out. So we're going to close that. Let's see. Now I want to bring to your attention virtual reality. Virtual reality is so cool. So let's go to some playlists here. Now these are 360-degree videos. So here, look at storytelling, something that we all do in every subject area. Okay, we'll just let this. Sorry to skip ads. YouTube likes you to watch the ads. So here's an example of some 360 videos that are just a little bit richer. So what I'm doing is clicking and scrolling around. So great for observational skills and things like that. So this is just to let you know that these websites exist. So I'm going to paste that channel into YouTube as well. I'm going to put that right down here. Paste that, and we're going to go back. So again, virtual reality, 360 degrees, really cool stuff. And again, do the flipped classroom thing. Embed the video in a Google form, have students answer questions, and then talk about it. we'll close that one. Now, this is something I've never thought of actually until recently, and that's creating a video essay. And so what you can do is actually, teach your class almost like you were doing a lecture and record it as an essay. So here is from commonsense.org, a very, very good site for digital citizenship and digital learning and things like that. I highly recommend that you check out commonsense.org. And as a side note, you can become what's called a common sense educator. Uh, there's a teacher program that you can do. I've done it before. It's not too difficult to do, but it really gets you to jump deep into their resources. And this is one of those resources. What are video essays? They're long form critical videos that make arguments about media and culture. So you might want to give your student assignments on video essays. And that way they're not worried about writing. They're actually saying or explaining or telling their views or their ideas or what their research was. I think it's a great idea. And we will put that in the comment box as well. Thanks, Steve. You're looking good too, I'm sure. And it was good to see you on Sunday. And thanks a lot for your assistance and input and very valuable input and suggestions and that kind of thing. We had Ed Camp Nagoya for the first time on Sunday. Steve, you see in the chat box there, he was one of the key guys getting that off the ground. Now, something else I want to show you is choose your own adventure. Now, many of us grew up reading choose your own adventure books. Well, there are some people out there with really cool ideas, Pixar, for example, that have created YouTube choose your own adventure stories. So I'm going to quickly click on this and jump ahead so you can see how it works. Notice the video is only 38 seconds. That's deliberate. They're very short. How would you use this? Maybe have your students record the choices they made, create a worksheet with a table. I chose to do this. And then in the next column, they would say, this is why. And they can kind of track their adventure, explaining their reasoning. And then they can talk about it with other people and kind of compare. I'm going to jump ahead. And at one point, you're going to see some options. So if you scroll ahead quickly enough, so what do I do? Do I start it? Yes, I'm going to start. And then I get the next screen. Now, this would take a long time to put together, but if you do a search, there are some things out there. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead, and I'm going to click yes. I would rather be invisible. And I would explain why I'd rather be invisible. So as you can see, this is it's kind of a fun way to use YouTube. So have a look. There are some that are more like video game things, such as you're a cartoon, you're going through a maze, and where do you go? There's a couple where do you go left? Do you go right? What's your choice? So they have live action, but they also have video game-esque ones as well. So we're gonna close that one. Now, something I want to bring to your attention is the awesome YouTube audio library. Actually, let me just go back and make sure that we've looked at everything here. Yeah, I think we've gone through the whole list here. There are a whole bunch of ways, I'm sure, that I've not introduced and how you can use YouTube in the classroom. I do think the YouTube audio library is something that you have to know about. Excuse me. Now, if you have students creating videos, copyright you want to protect, especially if they're uploading those videos to YouTube, because if you have broken copyright laws, YouTube will block the audio. You might actually get a strike against you, and if you have 3 strikes, they will ban your channel, or they will, in the very least, suspend it for a little while. YouTube Audio Library has free music, and it's got sound effects. So you notice here you've got these little arrows. Well, that allows you to kind of listen to what the songs sound like. So, for example, I might go with a genre. Let's go with some children's music. Maybe you've got children's video. Do you want an instrumental? Let's see, electric guitar, organ, piano. Let's go with piano. Children's music, piano, totally cool. And you can get the mood, for example. You want it to be bright, funky, dramatic. Here it's already set to happy and calm, and a whole bunch of different ones. Basically, it's got them all. I want to know what it sounds like, so I'm going to click right here. Ponies and balloons. Sounds fun. And you notice here it says you're free to use this song in any of your videos. I highly recommend that you would say background music, Ponies and Balloons by the Green Orbs. And then, of course, that's giving credit to the right people. You would also write YouTube audio library and you click here, download, and it really is that simple. You'll get your pop-up dialog box coming anytime now. And I can figure out where I want to put it. And it's MP3 audio, and I click save. I'm not going to do that, but it's that simple. So you've got this free music you're allowed to use. You don't have to worry about copyright. And if you can see here, they've got a whole pile of different genres you can choose from. You can even look at the duration. I need something that's, over 5 minutes long. The longer they get, the fewer options you have. But just to let you know, it is there. So we're going to close YouTube Audio Library. And essentially, that is what I wanted to do today to show you how you can use YouTube in the classroom. Now, we have not gone through how to set up your YouTube channel, and if we did that, we'd be here for another hour or an hour and a half. However, we haven't forgotten that there are some people that may want to do this. So we've got a slides deck with a whole pile of animated GIFs. You can see that they're moving here. Or if you tap on them, they will be moving. And it shows you how to set up your YouTube channel. It goes through branding. And if you go way down to the bottom, it's even going to show you how you can get a domain for YouTube, for your YouTube channel, that is. Now, one thing, sorry, we don't have that domain in there. That's my bad. It tells you how you can get your name as a URL. So for example, my private one is Learning Light Bulbs. So I've got, the youtube.com/ whatever, C/Learning Light Bulbs. You need over 100 subscribers to do that. I do want to point out this last part on the deck called Independent Learning. And if you click on that, you're going to see the YouTube Creator Academy, YouTube Creator Academy for Education, YouTube creators. They've got a series of different lessons that you can take that will guide you through how to develop your YouTube channel. Also, they do have YouTube Creator Academy, and that you can get certified from YouTube. That's going to take you a little bit of study, a little bit of time, but you can be YouTube certified. So what we're going to do is, I'm actually going to use the share feature. I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to put that in the chat as well. Yeah, hey, Steve, the YouTube audio library is way cool. So I'm going to close Mentimeter here. And I'm going to close this slides deck. You can see it's quite long, but make a copy of it for yourself. Share it with other people. Go ahead and make yourself a YouTube channel. You can email us at gegnagoya@gmail.com if you have any questions or want some help. So I'm going to close this one up, and we are going to go back to our slides deck. We'll quickly create present mode. There is other topics if you create your own YouTube channel. You've got status and features. You got community. Oh, actually, community is one thing I forgot. Why not show a video and have students comment on that video, and they can comment back and forth to each other. If it's not your own video, other people will probably have their settings so that they moderate your comments. If it's your video, you can just open it up and let people continue on to comment. But you've got different recording tools if you want to make your own videos: QuickTime, iMovie, Screencastify, Filmora. You can use pretty much any device with these, and there's other things you could use too. Why not record something from your phone? How about doing a vlog? You want to give one quick grammar tip, or you want to give one quick math equation orally. Why not? If you want to screencast, use Vittle, Vittle, for example, or Screencastify if you're working from your computer. Vittle is great for whiteboarding. You can draw and sketch and things like that. Again, YouTube Creator Academy and YouTube Audio Library. Let's be academically honest and give credit to people that deserve it. So I'm going to point out that here's the slide deck. You can go to that to tinyurl.com, but I gave the long URL just a moment ago. Now our next, actually before I go to our next event, I do want to point out GEG Nagoya Online. This is us, all right? GEGnagoya.com. Under the events tab, you can see our YouTube live series. We're going to do another one in 2020 once we get a chance to get over this beta testing that we're doing right now. This is a 6-episode series. This is episode number 4. If you want to go back and learn a little bit about Gmail, Google Drive, Google Classroom, we've got the videos already embedded. And when this video is done, we're going to put it right here for you. So we've had to change our schedule a little bit. Next Wednesday, December 4th, we're going to do a very short one on Google Jamboard. Probably won't even take 15 minutes. And then December 11th, Google Sites and Blogger, so that you can create a classroom or a professional website. That'll be one of your regular 1-hour presentations. We've got the episodes linked already to StreamYard, so just click there and we'll be ready to share with you. Of course, have a look at the different events that we've had. EdCamp Nagoya, which we just had on Sunday, as I mentioned earlier, with Steve McGuire and Chris Lober helping out as the coordinating team. We'll put some photos in there for you very shortly. We also have some other resources on how you can become a Google for Education certified educator, and we are going to do a study group on that. So find us on Facebook at this link, find us on Twitter at GEG Nagoya, or hashtag us GEG Nagoya. And here's some other links here that are going to help you become Google certified and learn more about the Google ecosystem. We also want to draw your attention to GEG Asia Pacific Connect. We are putting on live events. We've had our first one in October, and soon we'll be planning another one for early 2020, just like this online live. However, with this online live, you're going to be able to choose the language that you want to view in. We had 8 different languages in the last online live that we did. So you can see here, we've got Chinese, English, we've got Indonesian, we've got Japanese, Korean, we've got Bahasa Malaysian. We had 2 ones, different episodes for that. We've got Tagalog from the Philippines, and of course we have Tamil right here. We want to keep adding. So look at hashtag GEG Asia Live. If you want to know where the GEG in your area is, just click on GEG by country, and one of our people has made this really great mind map. And all you have to do is click on the GEG, and you're going to get the information that you need on how you can contact those people across GEG, across the country that you live in. So I'm going to go back to slide deck, and we'll give you one more reminder. We are GEG Nagoya. You can find us at gegnagoya@gmail.com or gegnagoya.com. Nice and easy to remember. Next time we see you, we're going to talk about Google Jamboard and how you can use your desktop as a whiteboard, and how you can use your stylus on your iPad and you can draw and write and things like that. So we hope to see you on December 4th. We're going to let you go for now. We hope you had a great day. We're ending the broadcast here. Take care, everybody. Have a great week, and hopefully we're going to see you again.